Hello everybody, Dave here for the next instalment of Dave Gets Wood, where we're going to try and finish stripping the other two legs. Now hopefully I can get this done pretty quickly, because having the window open is a requirement. It kind of is. It's necessary to have the window open because of the chemicals, but it's fucking cold in here now. So I'm going to try and get through this pretty quickly. The first two surfaces that we're working on still a bit dusty, but we're going to need to give these two surfaces a little bit longer than the rest. Now I'm hoping I'm not going to need to give it, just realised I got my mask on. I'm hoping I'm not going to need to give it like 20 minutes or anything like that. I'm hoping just a few applications and we can crack on, but what we've seen from the other legs is if we do go too soon, we're still being left with the streaks. But in a way, what I would like to be able to do is, not that I'm planning to do too much of this stuff today, because I've not really had any sort of me time recently over the last few days, and I want some. Sounds a bit weird that, but you got to have some downtime, and so I'm hoping to basically get these to a point now where I can go, right, okay, that's them done. I can have the window open to clear the chemical smell, but not too long after be able to close the window. And then a little later today, maybe, I was going to say give him another sanding, but they don't really need it. What he needs is just to, but I'm not going to do it today. What he needs is a wipe with a damp cloth. Actually no, it needs white spirits. I need to re-neutralise it. I forgot about that. I might do that later. Let's move the cables so you can see what we're working on. But basically I want it so that tomorrow, if I decide, I can make a start on applying the varnish on these, because I've no idea how many applications it's going to need of the varnish, but obviously what I tend to be able to do is, from the first application, I tend to get a bit of an idea of how much it might need. To be honest, with this now being what would be very clean wood, very clean wood, it's going to soak in a varnish very quickly, I think, even though it seems to be quite a tough wood. I mean, I don't know if it is a hard wood. I think it is. To be honest, I believe it to. I think it might be oak. And yeah, so I'm kind of expecting it to soak in the varnish rather quickly. So that first coat will give us an idea of how quickly it's going to soak in, but also give us an idea of, okay, this is what, like if it soaks in really quickly and you can barely tell it's been applied, it's right, it's going to be quite a few coats. But if it gives it a wet look straight away, so alright, okay, it might only be 2 or 3 that we need, but we shall see. Now, even though I have been a little tempted over the last few days to go, well, okay, perhaps a little later in the day, I could do a bit on the tabletop. I could, but I don't want to. I do not want to start the tabletop until I have finished the legs. So basically, I want the legs to be done, just ready to be attached. Now, interestingly, looking at these are not drying up anywhere near as fast as the last two did. That one is going faster than this one, but it's not as fast as the other two went. Now this one was the one that had a little more streaks on it than that one. Gosh, that one is looking like it might be ready for a scrub. I've got to be careful, I'm getting a little bit messy here. It's too soon to scrub that one. But while we're waiting for the other to get up to us, we can add a little more on there. Okay. Ow. Oh, my neck. My neck is fucking killing me still. Still grinding, still cracking. Let's move me liquid dish away and we'll get a fresh piece of wire wool for these ones. Right, let's see how we're doing. So we're taking it off a bit earlier than we were with the other legs, but we have given it more time than we were the other day. Plus there's a lot less to do on it than there was the other day when we were taking all of the finish off. I'm happy with that. So I don't think these are going to need another sanding really, but I might give them one anyway. As soon as I'm going to neutralise it, I might as well give them another light sanding, neutralise it. And then wipe them down with a damp cloth, because even though I've backed them and wiped them down with white spirits, they still somehow end up covered in dust. Now it could just be that it was dust in the air that settled. Okay, and that's come up lovely. No streaks. Okay, so these ones got a lot less effect on them of any kind of streaking, so hopefully it shouldn't take as long. But obviously I still need to allow the chemical to go to work, so it's not like I can just scrape it off now. Just splashed a bit of stripper on the wood. So again, yeah, this one's drying up very quickly, which would suggest to me that, I mean, I could be very wrong, but it would suggest to me that there's not a lot on there for it to react with, so it's soaking straight into the wood. So for example here, that would appear to still be reacting with something, so it's not soaking in as much, but at the lower end it was soaking in, which in a way would make sense, because with me being right-handed, I tend to be applying everything at this end first and working this way. So if it's likely that there's an end where there's going to be a bit more left on, it's going to be this end, because there may be less chemical applied, or when it's come to taking stuff off, have less energy when I get up to this end. Okay, I actually think that'll be enough for those. Just make sure we've not got any drips going, and at some point I'm going to need to clean my bloody cupboard door and the wall. Got a few splashes on there, which is not good. Okay. And not seeing any streaks. I'm getting hungry. I've not had anything to eat yet today, I ended up actually having an early night last night. I was very tempted to eat quite late, and I thought, no, you know what, I'll have a small snack, so a carb, not true. I thought, and I'll go to bed, and then when I wake up, I'll be hungry, and I can get something to eat. I woke up, I wasn't hungry, so I haven't had anything to eat. Now, I'm fucking starving, but I'm in the middle of something. Okay. So let's see how quickly this is going to soak in, shall we? I've got a feeling it's going to soak in a little bit slower, because there's a bit more work that I might need doing here. Found that one, it looks like there's nothing on there that needs taking off at all, but we'll see. Seagulls going mental. I do think in a way it would be nice to be able to get these to a point by the end of today where I could come through tomorrow and just apply the varnish, but it's like yesterday I intended on just chilling out and doing a few things that I want to do, like go on the PlayStation for a beer or different things like that. Just never really ended up having the time. And in the end it got to a point where I was like, yeah, okay, I could go on the PlayStation, but actually I just want to go fucking sleep. Come up all right. I think that was side number 2. I could be wrong. That. I'm trying to think whether it is 2 sides I've done or whether that was the 3rd. I think it's 2. I know I've not done that side. Okay, done that side. We're on to that side. I think I've got lost. I think we've got 2 to go. Oh dear me. And sometimes when you're not eating properly or sleeping properly, your brain ain't going to function properly. And not that mine functions properly anyway, but it's not going to be helped. And also, it'd be very easy for me to think, oh well, I can carry on with this and I can put the first coat of varnish on these today. But my concern with that is that if I was to do that, because of the nature and the shape of these pieces of wood, if I'm haphazard with them, I'm going to end up with streaky varnish, and that's the last, well, I won't say it's the last thing I need, but I really don't need that. So when it comes to doing the varnish, then really that kind of needs to be the first main job that I'm doing on that day, so that the focus can solely be on, okay, that's drying up rapidly, yeah, the sole focus can be on making sure we get a tidy varnish application. Because all it takes is one streak that I miss to really fuck it up. Oh. Okay, so we have turned that onto its final side. Even if it's not its final side, it is going to be its final side. I do wonder why. Oh, if this table was dark stained, or really dark varnished from new, I've already done that side. I know I have because I've been on that bit. Yeah, I'll give it a quick wipe just in case. But yeah, the dark varnish. Although I mean I like dark wood, but I do wonder why they went with it. Maybe it's because this is like these legs are made up of many pieces of wood rather than one solid piece of wood. I mean, it would beg the question why. I mean, it's made out of what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 11 pieces of wood, which is a bit odd. Okay. Oh. I think what I'll do, we've got a few minutes left on the video. I'm just going to give this bit a little wipe. But what I'm going to do is I will I'm going to white spirit it, because at least then it's neutralised. And then if I'm up to it later on, if I've got a bit of time, I can give them a light sanding and give them a wipe down with a damp cloth rather than having to do it with white spirits. Okay, so let's go with we'll give these a white spirits clean, get them nicely neutralised. It also means that all of the chemicals that I'm going to use will have been used, and hopefully all the scents will be out the window. That's a very nice looking piece there. give these a bit of a, I'll clean it and dry it. That way I can make sure I don't go giving it any white spirit streaks. Okay, looking good. Oh, that's heavy. Well, at least I know I've had a very productive day. And we're not even at midday yet. But this is where now I can hopefully relax a bit, get myself a bite to eat. If I need to grab a bit of sleep, then I can, and then I can still have the rest of the day to do whatever I want. Which at some point is going to include doing commentary on a race video, looking at some incident reports, and yeah, dealing with that. I'll give it a little dry in. Hands are hurting now. Oh. Yeah, we've pushed ourselves a little bit too far, but we can keep going because we're nearly finished for what our goal is for today. Okay, fingers going numb. Fucking hell, my hand's proper hurting. In that joint on that finger. Oh, son of a bitch, that hurts. I'm not even barely even using that fucking finger in its own. Oh, fuck off. Ah. That's proper hurting. I don't need that. Would start fucking hurting right towards the end. Oh. So yeah, a really productive day. Now we're gonna fucking give you extreme agony. Like your fucking fingers are breaking before you finish. to say that although I am in pain, I'm glad I started doing this week, and I'm glad with the progress that we've made. And although I'm anxious about dealing with the tabletop, I'm also looking forward to it because I know I can clean it up and get it looking nice. The question and the anxiety is, can I fix it properly? That's kind of the unknown, because of the projects I've done so far, fixing has been a very minimal part of it. But we shall see how we get on, won't we? How can holding this little sponge with 2 fingers hurt that finger? The fuck? Oh. Keep going, nearly there. Very, very nearly there. Almost done. Right, that's the cleaning done. I just need to wipe it down and we are done. Keep going. We're nearly there. Oh, I feel like my hand needs to crack. Oh, yeah, the pain's now going up my arm. Oh, you fuck like that. It's gone all the way up there. Right. Done. Done, done, done. I'll throw that cloth away and I'll throw that sponge away. I've got a bit of excess. Excess chemical. I'm going to try to get it back into my tin, and I'm going to make an absolute fucking pig's ear of it. Actually, not bad. Oh. The gap up a little more. Oh dear me. Right, cap on that. That's that done. And now, paintbrush. A bit more white spirits in here. And that can go in there. Right. So, we're done. The legs are ready pretty much. So on the next video what we'll be doing is giving them the lightest of sandings, giving them a wipe down with a damp cloth just to get any excess dirt off, and then once they're dry, and they will need to be proper dry before I can apply the varnish, otherwise the water and the varnish won't mix. Pop that over there. Yeah, so we'll fucked. Yeah, so we'll make sure they're dry before we apply the varnish. And once we're onto the varnishing stage of these, we're in business. Now, I am gonna have to work out how I'm gonna go about varnishing, whether I'm just gonna go, right, I'm gonna work on one leg at a time, or whether I'm going to work on 2 legs at a time, or all 4 at the same time. Also, whether I'm just going to work on one face at a time, or do 2. Basically it's just the logistics of how I'm going about doing it. Before I can do all of that though, I am going to need to clean my workstation, because the last thing I need is little bits of wire wool, which I've dropped, little bits of wire wool, or bits of shit that's come off the wood getting into the varnish. So I'm going to disappear now. I wish I could. Have a little clean up, and then we'll see you on the next one. Have a good one everybody, stay safe, see you in a bit.